$110,000 by August. Will it happen?
Well, as you know, you've tried to pin me down with exact prices in the past, and it's something I won't do. But I will say it's actually possible. It could happen. There is underlying demand, which we've seen already, really today, with the price action that's been going on. So I wouldn't rule it out.
All right. We also have the Bitcoin one-day chart. Tell us what you're seeing here.
Yeah, I pulled this chart out because obviously this segment of the show is, chart of the day. And of course, this morning with what was going on, it felt that we really couldn't have any other chart. We had to bring this one out. And you can see this one here is up to about an hour ago, I think. I think the key point to work out, because a lot of people have been in touch with me today and asked, what's going on? Why is this happening? And the word I've been using is inevitable. Not really meaning to quote sort of Elon Musk there, really. What I'm talking about is what's been going on over the last few weeks. Now, I'm sure you and the people who watch this have been following the Bitcoin's price movement. It's been quite sideways over the last few weeks, but you may have also have noticed that it kept creeping up, and it would hit the resistance, it will come down again, it will come up, it would hit the resistance and come down again, and it's been bouncing around like that now for some time. And the speed of which it was coming back up each time, it gave you a really good indication of just how strong the underlying demand is, right? So when it hit that resistance level, it would come down, but it will come straight back, like some 3-year-old child just said you're going to take to the park. They won't give up. They'll just keep coming back. And just some momentum was all that was needed to push through, and that momentum came today.
Yeah, people are greedy for Bitcoin according to some market sentiment analysis out there. We've got this chart. Tell us about this fear and greed index.
Well, I love this chart because it's such a simple indicator and it's got a great name. It does exactly what it says on the tin. And I picked these two out because actually this was from this morning. So this is my time, UK time. This is about sort of 8, 9 a.m. So this was just at the time that Bitcoin really started kicking off this morning. And I was just interested to see what that indicator said. Now, it's got a figure there of about 74. Now, that is in the greed category, but it isn't extreme greed. It isn't crazy. It didn't give us really any indication that this was going to happen. And I think it's quite a nice example that, technical analysis is quite interesting, but it never gives you the whole picture. Mm-hmm. And of course, the other one there, if I can refer to it.
Supporting this demand, we've got the amount of BTC held in all exchange wallets is plummeting. So tell us a bit about, what that means.
Well, again, this is another chart here that has been doing the rounds a bit recently. This one has been discussed by quite a few people. I mean, the general view here, and actually I subscribe to this, is that as we've seen price increase, we have seen that Bitcoin that's available on the exchanges decrease. Now, the way that we interpret this, or one way that we interpret this, is that this has been taken off the exchanges and put into long-term storage. And actually, we know anecdotally there are people doing this. Probably the most famous example, of course, is Michael Saylor, who's pretty much made it clear that all his Bitcoin is in very long-term storage. He'll probably never see the light of day again, and that's his Bitcoin, and he'll be accumulating it on that basis. And we know he's not the only one, and we know that other people are doing the same thing. So we will expect to see this effect increase because, I don't think we've really seen that effect bite yet. You imagine if you had, say, 10 people in a room, there's 5 chairs, right? And someone sits down in that chair, you've got 4 chairs left, 9 people. And as the number of chairs dwindles, right, you can imagine the value of that last chair is going to increase dramatically. That's kind of where we're going.
I know you have the Bitcoin laser eyes. And just so that our viewers know, there is a trend on social media to have a photo of yourself with laser eyes as a way to show you believe Bitcoin will hit $100,000. But Jason, just, for good measure, what is the bear case for Bitcoin?
I'll tell you what, Krista, I'm struggling to find a bear case right now. I mean, honestly, the only real way that this is going to be problematic from this point onwards, we've talked about regulation, actually, you and I already, haven't we, and how difficult this is to shut down. So the only point really you've got left is something going wrong in the code itself, right? So we're talking total, end of Bitcoin working as it does. That's the only way now, really, I can see this asset and this use case dying out.
We did see Bitcoin crash with the markets last year in March. If there is more restrictions on Bitcoin, that could potentially leave a dent. But nevertheless, it does look very bright in the weeks ahead. Underlying this is Coinbase's direct listing. I wonder if you could talk about the significance of this listing as it relates to Bitcoin.
Well, I mean, your opening statement sort of covered it beautifully, didn't it? I mean, this is a major event. There is a huge amount of money that is about to change hands here. A lot of people are going to be sitting pretty after it. So, look, make no mistake, this is a significant event in the whole life cycle of Bitcoin. However, I think it's just a step in that process. Bitcoin itself will just carry on regardless, because we're only talking about one company's listing really in one country. Bitcoin is really much bigger than that.
Just quickly, 30 seconds. Will Coinbase, the stock, be correlated with Bitcoin, do you think?
Oh, that's a brilliant question. No one's ever asked me that. The short answer is I don't know. I absolutely don't. I'll be fascinated to see what goes on. As an analyst, I can guarantee I'll be following it.
All right. Thank you very much, Jason, for joining us this afternoon.
My pleasure.